Hey there, Chris and Jeremy here, Brothers in Healing, and we're coming at you with some more PTSD related topics. And we want to talk about the signs and symptoms. Chris?
So what we've really learned, and Woody and I have talked about back and forth all the time. One of my main things that I learned about myself and what I see in friends of ours or people that in law enforcement, in firefighter, whatever it might be, is that we tend to isolate. And the biggest thing that I learned about myself was I would lay in bed from morning till nighttime. And when I say that on my days off, I'd get up, I'd brush my teeth, go to the bathroom, but I'd turn the TV on, and I would be in bed and I would take naps all day. Wake up, maybe talk to the animals, when the wife's at work, watch different shows, but I would not want to get out of bed. And you felt so lazy, yet it was still something that I didn't want to just get up because I had no motivation to do anything.
Right. So, kind of that lack of energy is a very common. And I think on one of the tests that they give you, it says, I don't have the energy to do the things that I used to do. And it's very, very common.
Yeah.
And then talk to me a little bit about the isolation piece. I know that was big for you.
So I know when I would just lay in bed and I would look at my phone and I would tell people, oh man, I didn't get your message for so long. But I would look at my messages and I apologize to friends who this is the first time you're hearing me say that I saw my messages. It was just something I didn't have the energy to even reach out. I didn't have the want, the will to send a message back or to call someone and say, hey, what are you doing? And what am I doing? I'm sitting here laying in bed. And it was almost like I was embarrassed that I didn't want to even reach out or answer any messages from my friends.
Yeah, and very similar to me. I would be down in my basement here, just isolating, home alone, didn't feel like going out and interacting with anybody. You get a text message, and it just feels so fucking draining to respond back, and you're just like, I don't even want to deal with this right now. Because when you're in that mindset, everything just seems so big. It's just draining. You don't have the energy to do it. And so, that's the thing about PTSD. It kind of creeps up inside of you and kind of starts taking over in those kind of ways. And I know that for you used to be big into running and that kind of thing. And
yeah, I used to run marathons. I used to run all the little races, St. Patty's Day dashes, everything. And realistically, probably in the last year and a half, maybe 2 years, I honestly don't remember the last time I even went for a run. And I tell myself every day, go for a run today, Chris. Still hasn't happened.
Yeah. One of the things that comes to mind is I ended up having a kind of heavy altercation, kind of a fight for life situation at work. And I also trained jiu-jitsu, but after that incident, grappling was a reminder of that fight for life. And I ended up dropping out of jiu-jitsu. And when I trained, I would have flashbacks of that moment. There'd be certain touch recognition that would take place when I was grappling, and it really affect my performance. I remember one time one of my coaches was like, Woody, what happened, man? You totally had that match. What happened? And I froze because I was in that PTSD mindset and not thinking about the where I needed to be on the mat. My head was elsewhere, and that's quite common that occurs. The isolation and how PTSD will impact your other activities that you used to enjoy, and you no longer get pleasure from doing those things anymore.
Right. Well, I remember you talking about that all the time. And I remember that specific story when you said that and how you had the guy dominated and all of a sudden you just stopped because your mind went right back to that incident when you were at work.
Yeah.
And those are the things that we don't think about on a daily basis.
Even right now, talking about it, within 3 to 5 seconds, my brain it was like watching a movie on fast forward. Certain section, as we're talking now, my brain just went there and I just relived a certain part of that fight, that altercation.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how much we see. And we see primarily with first responders, it's the isolation, breaking away from everybody else, not wanting to return texts, not enjoying going out and enjoying the activities you used to do. No judgment on our part.
No.
We've been there. We
Still
know what
there.
it feels like.
Still there sometimes.
It's a struggle. Yesterday, the neighbors wanted us to come over next door and say hi. And I just did not want to go. Now, I will tell you this. We learned at Deer Hollow, sometimes coping thing is do just the opposite. Remember that technique?
Yeah, do opposite
So
what you don't want to do.
correct. So I forced myself to go and actually had a really good time. And, it's a constant battle every day. And for those of you that are struggling with PTSD, man, we get it. Our hearts go out to you. We know what it feels like. And we just empathize with you. And, we're thinking about you.
Yeah, and look out for your friends, your brothers, your sisters, your family members, and if you see some of these little small things that are happening, maybe just hey, let's go for a walk because you know what. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take my dog for a walk today because I feel like I have to do something somewhat positive today to get me going.
Yeah. I know one of the things that I actually brought up with a counselor was she said, "Oh, you don't go fishing anymore," and no. And one of the things that I would do with you, Chris, is make a plan to go crabbing or fishing or something, knowing that you would be like, "Come on, dude, you need to follow through with that," kind of thing. I didn't want to let you down, and so it forced me to get out there, and then we go out there and just have a great time,
Yeah, yeah,
reconnecting with nature, getting back out, doing the things that you enjoy. We get it; it's hard. Push yourself, force yourself. You got this. If you need any help, reach out to us, brothersinhealing.com.
yeah.
You can send us a message. It goes right to our email. We're fairly good about checking our email. We get inundated a lot. We have a lot of questions we're trying to answer. But ultimately, we want you to know that we are here for you. We get it.
We are.